students are figuring out what it means to be a member of their college community. They're learning what it means to be a bear or a wildcat or a tiger or a bulldog or an eagle, but nobody anywhere other than here is learning what it means to be a blue hen. You guys are it. Nobody else in the world is a blue hen. I live in Texas. My name's Carrie Zimmerman. I come from the Republic of Texas. It's not a state, it's a republic. I'm not from there, I just live there so I can make fun of them a little bit. But one of the things that we do when we talk about starting college is asking you all to be courageous, to dare to be the person that you want to be. In just a few minutes, I've got some upper class student leaders that are going to come out here and talk to you about being a blue hen. We're going to talk about all kinds of situations. We're going to talk about both the great things that happen here at Delaware and some of the things that are scary and frightening that may challenge you or push your boundaries or may have you questioning things that you thought or believed at different times of your life. We're going to talk about everything from alcohol, drugs, sex. We're going to talk about racism, sexism, bullying, bystander behavior, the language that you use, sexual assault. Some of these topics may hit you in your gut, and you may want to have a conversation with someone afterward or during the program. We've got staff here from around the campus to have conversations with you and talk to you if you want to. They're going to be in the back. If you're a staff member here, wave your hand around. They're at the back. They'll be in the lobby. They're up top if you've got questions that you want to ask. So because this is your life, your journey, your adventure, we're going to talk to you as adults. We're not going to pull any punches. Some of the language is offensive. Some of the stories are hard to listen to. Some of the things that we're going to discuss on this stage are things you might not expect to hear from a stage at an orientation program at Delaware. But we're going to talk about them because it's important. So we're going to ask you to be adults and mature and listen. We want you to think carefully and critically about who you are, about who you want to be. Starting college is a new chance for everybody to chart their life's path. So listen as your friends and leaders and mentors talk to you about what it means to be a blue hen.
We are Blue Hens.
The Fighting Blue Hens of the University of Delaware.
As members of the UD community, we promote an environment in which we inspire all people to learn. We encourage
intellectual curiosity, critical thinking, free inquiry, and respect for the views and values of an increasingly diverse population.
We believe
that all members of the campus community have the personal responsibility to promote an atmosphere of civility in which the free exchange of ideas and opinions can flourish.
We affirm
the intellectual, cultural, and ethical development of students as citizens, scholars, and professionals.
We contribute
to a global society that requires leaders with creativity, integrity, and a dedication to service.
We embrace
diversity as an integral and vital part of everyday life and a cornerstone of the values here at university.
We are the University of Delaware.
And we dare to be great,
Committed,
Challenged,
intellectually curious,
ethical,
and courageous.
ours is a tradition of excellence.
a tradition that spans more than 250 years.
a tradition that lives on in each of us.
This is the University of Delaware,
And we are Blue Hens.
You are now part of this great tradition.
The UD community is our responsibility.
Your responsibility.
This is your education, your campus, your community, and your family.
Add your voice.
Your talent.
Your presence to a long line of blue hens who came before you. Who will you dare to be while you're here?
As a member of the UD community,
Our words matter.
Our actions matter.
Our attitudes matter.
Our decisions matter. Our values matter.
We matter.
You matter.
Every word spoken has the ability to build someone up.
Or tear someone down.
On our campus, our words should be spoken with kindness,
Not hate.
Understanding.
not fear.
Hope. Not cynicism.
Inclusion.
Not exclusion.
but too often our words are spoken without thinking about the damage they could do.
The pain they could cause.
You know the words that we mean.
The words we use to hurt one another.
The words that ring in our ears long after they are heard.
Preppy,
Ghetto.
snob, Jesus freak,
Dyke,
white trash,
Bitch.
whore, dyke, freak!
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
The nursery rhyme got it wrong.
Words have power.
To tear us down.
Break our spirit.
Or crush our dreams.
But they also have the power to build us up.
To offer hope.
To instill confidence.
To create community.
To change the world.
So watch your words.
Your words become your actions.
Watch your actions.
Your actions become your habits.
Watch your habits.
Your habits become your character.
Watch your character.
And your character becomes your destiny.
Who will you dare to be?
At UD, we ask every student to stretch themselves academically, to engage in intellectually stimulating conversations, to challenge their preconceived ideas, and wrestle with difficult topics.
But we also ask you to engage in learning outside the classroom.
To make smart choices and responsible decisions.
Every situation gives you the chance to define who you are and what you stand for.
College is about growth.
And change. And
challenge.
And it's about being accountable for your actions.
All your actions.
It's about understanding that every decision has a consequence.
Every decision.
Even though we commit to conducting ourselves in accordance with the highest ethical standards, we sometimes make decisions that don't live up to the values of the UD community.
Money is tight for me. It's tight for most people. I don't know what I was thinking running up my credit card bill like that. I don't know how I'm gonna pay it off, and my parents are gonna kill me. I wish I just told myself not to go out so much.
I wanted to leave a party before my friends did, so I hopped in a car with a couple of guys I just met. We ended up going to another party first, and I didn't know anyone. I started to get a little scared, and luckily nothing happened, and I got home safely, but it freaked me out.
Who will you choose to be?
Dare to be the person who uses their resources and plans ahead when it comes to money and safety.
My roommate took the same class last year, so I turned in his old paper. I didn't think I had time to write it, and I sure didn't think I'd get caught. Well, now I have an F, I have a meeting with student conduct, and I might lose my scholarship.
I didn't do any of the reading all semester. Now there's no way for me to catch up in time for the final. I wish I hadn't procrastinated so much. I'm gonna have to take this class over.
Who will you choose to be?
Dare to be the person who takes your education seriously and seeks the help you need.
My roommate kept saying, it's just a little pot, relax. Well, a little turned into a lot, and now he's not going to class or doing any of his work. There's no way he's gonna pass. I don't know if I should say something or to whom. I don't want to be a snitch.
There are so many parties every weekend, even on weeknights. We've only been here a couple of weeks, but I think I've already made some big mistakes. Passing out drunk, skipping class the next morning. I'm afraid I'm just known as the drunk girl.
Who will you choose to be? Dare to be a person who takes action to correct your own and others' potentially harmful choices.
The first semester has been harder than I thought. I miss being home, and making friends is tough. I'd rather just stay in my bed than go out. Am I the only one who feels this way?
I'm really worried about my roommate. I'm pretty sure she has an eating disorder. She talks about her weight all the time, and I think she's throwing up after she eats. What should I do?
Who will you choose to be?
Dare to be the person who asks for help, for you and for your friends.
Why do we think we can say whatever we want on Twitter or Facebook? I would never say those things to someone's face. So why is it okay to say them online?
A girl was passed out drunk at a party, and people started laughing and messing with her. Instead of helping her, all these people started taking pictures and videos to post online. No one stepped in.
Who will you choose to be?
Dare to be the person who is the same online as you are face to face. Don't let the anonymity of a screen take away your values and good judgment.
I knew there would be drinking in college, but I'm not sure how to handle all the pre-gaming and binge drinking. I'm just afraid people won't think I'm any fun if I'm not drinking as much as they are.
So many people were hooking up after that party last weekend. How do I figure out what's right for me?
Who will you choose to be?
Dare to be the person who takes your sexuality seriously and chooses to say no when something doesn't seem right to you.
A group I'm in didn't admit a new member because he wasn't like us. I don't think I want to be part of an organization like that. It makes me very uncomfortable. But I'm not sure how to bring it up. I can't be the only one that's bothered by it.
I was walking past a Haven event for LGBT students and my friend made a gay joke. He makes a lot of gay jokes and I've never said anything, but I know it's not okay.
Who will you choose to be?
Dare to be the person who stands up for what is right, even when it's hard.
He seemed like a nice guy.
She was hot.
We were having a great time at the party, just dancing and hanging out.
I asked her if she wanted to, get out of here, go back to her place.
I had way too much to drink, and I thought it was so nice to take care of me and walk me back to my room.
She was totally into me.
We were just kissing at first, then, I don't know, he got into bed with me. We were just making out and cuddling. I didn't want to have sex with him. I told him no, but it happened anyway.
We were so drunk.
I can't believe this happened. I don't know what to think. I never want to see him again.
Maybe she'll want to hook up again this weekend.
I was raped.
Who will you choose to be?
Be the person who respects their partner and their partner's decision.
Ask for consent and listen to the answer.
And a person can't give consent if they're intoxicated.
Sex without consent is sexual assault.
Sexual assault is a crime.
Seek advice for reporting the crime and seek help for the survivor.
Who will you choose to be?
All of our actions have consequences.
All of our words matter.
What will your actions say about you? And what will your words be?
If you watch the news, you know that colleges are often in the news for hazing, binge drinking, sexual assault, or hate crimes.
You've seen the stories of situations that got out of hand.
Good students have made really bad decisions.
And simple words have led to violent actions.
It's happened so often that we've almost become immune to the shock of it.
Almost.
It's become the background noise of college life.
Just something that happens.
Just background noise.
At a university in North Carolina, racist words have been painted in the free expression tunnel, and someone spray painted the words burn and die across the entrance of the GLBT Center. Burn and die.
In Mississippi, a noose and a Confederate flag was hung around the statue of James Meredith, the first African-American student on campus.
At a college in Indiana, 23 members of a sorority are asked to leave the chapter. They had done nothing wrong. In fact, the only thing they had in common was someone decided they were too fat or too ugly.
In Ohio, someone spray painted KKK and swastikas on the front of the Intercultural and Minority Services office building.
In Massachusetts, several women report being raped and sexually assaulted at a Halloween party. The group in question said their slutty costumes meant they wanted it.
On a campus in Virginia, several cars and trucks were vandalized with baseball bats, and the words redneck and racist were sprayed onto the vehicles.
At a state college in Los Angeles, a two-page message beginning with, "I hate your race and I want you all to die," was sent out to more than 40 faculty members with Hispanic surnames.
At a college in the South,
Fag.
several members of the band are charged after one of their own members is beaten to death
Ghetto.
after a hazing ritual that has gone on for
Skank.
years.
Lesbian,
At a small college in
stupid,
North Carolina, a
white
group of
trash,
football players
junkie,
beat three Palestinian
addict,
students outside their
slut,
residence hall.
pothead,
The attackers were
preppy,
charged with assault
snob,
and ethnic
Yankee,
intimidation, calling Middle Eastern
Jew,
students terrorists
whore,
joined the attack.
fag,
In
flamer,
California, a man
berry,
attacked a female
spick,
student who had mental
push,
disabilities.
spook,
He called her
gay,
a retard for dragging her into the
beaner,
classroom.
retard,
In
black,
Texas, two
bitch,
fraternities are suspended for having a slave auction and encouraging new members to drug girls in the rape ring.
stupid, gay,
Pennsylvania,
ghetto,
an African American
wetback,
student leader receives an unsigned letter. This is a white academy, in a white town, in a white country, and by God, it's going to stay that way. Nigger bitch.
Sticks and stones may break my bones.
But words?
This doesn't have to happen here.
Not in our house.
This doesn't have to happen here.
Every year.
More than 1 million college students are targets of bias-driven slurs or physical assaults.
Every day.
At least one hate crime occurs on a college campus.
Every minute.
A college student somewhere sees or hears racist, sexist, homophobic, or otherwise biased words or images. This doesn't have to happen here.
Martin Luther King Jr., in his letter from Birmingham jail, said that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly.
Whatever affects one person
affects us all.
As a community,
A family.
We know we are responsible for holding each other and ourselves accountable.
Albert Einstein said, "The world is a dangerous place to live in, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it."
Each one of us has the responsibility to do something.
Say something.
We have the ability,
The courage.
to speak up when we see someone being hurt or bullied.
We shouldn't make excuses.
It was just a joke.
Everyone says it.
Quit being so sensitive.
It's all in the past.
Being a member of the UD community means speaking up or standing out when an injustice occurs.
don't be silent, speak out.
Speak up for yourself.
Speak up for your friends.
Speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves.
Speaking up also means reporting incidences that you know have happened.
Tell an RA.
Talk to a professor.
Go to the office of the Dean of Students.
Talk to the staff at the Center for Black Culture.
Make an anonymous report to campus police through their website or the Live Safe app.
Go to the counseling center.
Tell someone.
Tell someone.
Tell
someone.
We can't assume that another person will take care of it.
We can't assume that another person will speak out.
We can't wait for another person to stand up.
We must be that person.
We must use our power to keep UD
Strong. If not you, then who?
First, they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew.
A really nice girl in my hall is made fun of all the time because of how she looks. I never said anything to stop it.
Then, they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist.
I knew there was hazing going on and people were getting hurt, but I didn't do anything about it. I didn't want to be a snitch.
Then they came for the Catholics, and I didn't speak out because I was not a Catholic.
I say the word retard and gay, but I don't mean anything by it.
Then they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist.
In the dining hall, a group of guys harassed some international students and called them terrorists. I knew them, were friends, but just kept walking like it didn't happen.
Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Pastor Martin Niemöller, Nazi concentration camp survivor.
I wish someone had just spoken up for me when I was
Made fun of?
Hurt?
Excluded.
Harassed.
This doesn't have to happen here.
Not in our house.
Who will you choose to be? As UD students, we are united in celebrating our diversity in all its varied forms.
We come from small towns and large cities.
From farmhouses and high-rises to apartments and neighborhoods.
From Delaware and China and Maryland and Nigeria.
From New Jersey and Honduras and Pakistan and Virginia and every place in between.
We are Jewish, agnostic, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, atheist, Buddhist, and everything in between.
We major in engineering, business, education, graphic design, nursing, biology, history, computer science, music.
We are musicians, ambassadors, student teachers, athletes, writers, artists, gamers, Greek, activists, environmentalists.
We are every shade of skin color and every creed of faith.
We are Blue Hens.
We should support one another.
We should fight for what's right.
We should stand up against injustice.
We should give our time, our love, our intellect, our resources.
On our campus, good should outnumber evil.
Love should outweigh hate.
Hope should outshine fear.
More than 12,000 students, over half of UD's student population, donated 140,000 hours to community service projects, from teaching opera to middle school students to developing computer databases for the Food Bank of Delaware.
We are Blue Hens.
During breaks from school, groups of dedicated students go on alternative break trips, where they volunteer their time on issues of hunger, poverty, HIV and AIDS, and disaster relief.
We are Blue Hens.
Last year, members of Greek life fraternities and sororities volunteered over 50,000 hours and raised more than $850,000 for their philanthropic initiatives with such groups as the Ronald McDonald House, the Be Positive Foundation, and the Alzheimer's Association.
We are Blue Hens.
Our campus supports diversity through numerous initiatives and programs, like the AIDS Walk Delaware, Each One Reach One mentoring program, and internationally known speakers such as Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor and Abraham Foxman. We are
Blue Hens.
Our exceptional faculty includes internationally known authors, scientists, and artists, among them a Nobel laureate, Guggenheim and Fulbright Fellows, members of the National Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Engineering, and American Association for the Advancement of Science.
We are Blue Hens.
We believe in having a global perspective. Our campus had the first study abroad program in the world, and more than 1 in every 3 UD undergraduate student studies overseas in programs that are offered in nearly 50 different countries.
We are Blue Hens.
Throughout history, it has been the inaction of those who would have acted, the indifference of those who should have known better, the silence of the voice of justice when it mattered most that has made it possible for evil to triumph. Haile Selassie, former king of Ethiopia.
At UD, we will dare to be the person who speaks out.
We will dare to be the person who stands up.
In Delaware, we pride ourselves as being the first state.
At UD, find pride in the first you will accomplish.
Whether you're the first person in your family to attend college,
Or it's the first time you're doing your own laundry.
Your next 4 years will be full of firsts.
On this day and in this place, you begin your journey as a member of the Blue Hen family.
You will make friends,
Make decisions.
And make mistakes.
Every day you'll make choices that will impact your future and the future of others.
Dare to be courageous.
Dare to ask for help.
Dare to be extraordinary.
dare to be yourself.
Dare to take advantage of all UD has to offer.
Renowned faculty.
World-class music, art, and theater.
Students from around the globe.
Staff ready to help you succeed.
Connections in business, service, and the community.
top-tier sports.
Opportunities of a lifetime.
The choice is yours.
Today is your day.
Open your mind.
Build your community.
Shape your life.
Make your first year count.
This is the University of Delaware.
And we are the Fighting Blue Hens.
The future of UD is in our hands.
So you
And
you.
And you.
Must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi.
The change on our campus.
The change in ourselves.
The change begins here.
The change begins now.
Who will you dare to be?
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We're caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one person indirectly affects all people. Who will you dare to be? Our great readers ask you that question over and over again during the reading. I was asked that question when I was a freshman in college at Vanderbilt by an unlikely source. We had spent a day during orientation doing a community service project. I worked at a homeless center. I spent 2 hours serving food, serving lunch, and I thought that meant I knew something about homelessness. I did not. A couple weeks into the year, I was driving through Nashville, and there's the main exit that you take on the interstate to go toward campus. And when you pull up at this particular exit and you stop at this stoplight, it's a really long light. You sit there, there's always a homeless person 18 inches away, sitting on the guardrail, right there watching you. Always holding a cardboard sign. You know what they say: hungry, homeless, will work for food, veteran, will you help, anything. You've seen the signs, you know what I'm talking about. So I pull up this one morning, I'm the first car, which means I'm right there at the spot where the person sits. So I glance over, and on this particular cold morning, it was a woman who was sitting there. And for whatever reason, that struck me as different. I think I was expecting a grizzled man with a big beard and a backpack, and it wasn't. It was this kind-faced woman. So in my vast experience of 2 hours in the homeless center that few weeks before, they had said to me, there are a lot of resources in town. If you see someone who's homeless, point them toward an agency. Give them food instead of money. All those things that I had heard. So I'm sitting there, I see her with her sign, and it said this: homeless, hungry, will you help? And I thought, there's a McDonald's across the street. So I stopped and bought a bag full of Egg McMuffins and 2 cups of coffee, and I parked my car, and I walked to this guardrail, and I said to her, hi, I'm Carrie. I've got some Egg McMuffins and coffee, would you like them? And she said, I would. I'm Lydia. Would you like to sit down? And I said, sure. So I plop down on this guardrail and I start talking to her while she eats her Egg McMuffins. And she says to me, Carol, because she thought my name was Carol. I didn't correct her. She said, Carol, there are 3 types of people in the world. I figured this out from sitting here day in and day out. Do you want to know what the 3 types of people are? Well, of course I did. So I said, yes, I do want to know. So she takes a big bite of her Egg McMuffin. And she said, the first type of people, when they pull up, they're jackasses. Just jackasses. She said, I've had people spit at me, throw food at me, throw drinks, curse my existence, tell me to get off their streets, sneer at me, spit. You name it, they've done it. But it's a really small percentage, she said. Less than 1% of the cars that pull up. 1 out of every 100 cars. Jackasses. She said, then there's the second group, and there aren't many of these people either. She said they're kind, they're friendly, they smile, say hello, acknowledge my existence. Sometimes they would offer money or food or a tip about a job or a bus token or some way to get to the night shelter. 1 out of every 100 cars, she said, a really tiny percentage. I was feeling pretty good about myself. I brought her Egg McMuffins. Then she says to me, Carol, the other 98% are radio station changers. And it took me a minute for that to sink in. She said, there are people that when they pull up, driving their car, and I'm sitting right here on the guardrail looking at them, they suddenly become entranced with the radio or their phone or something in the seat right here or the glove compartment or the gear shift, anything to look this way and not this way. She said, you watch the next 20 cars that come up. Virtually everyone, their head will turn this way. And so I watched while she ate her Egg McMuffin, and she was right. Everyone looked away. Everybody looked this way. And I thought, I'm not the 1%. I'm a radio station changer. I knew I had done it. I knew I had thought, it's gonna be awkward if I look this person in the eye. I'm just gonna be busy over here. So Lydia said to me, the 98%, most people, they're good people. She said, but they're uncomfortable. Their day will be better or easier if they look this way. If they don't acknowledge that there is this kind of pain in the world, this kind of hurt, this kind of ache, and so they look away. She said there are 3 kinds of people, jackasses and kind-hearted people and radio station changers. And she said, Carol, which one of those are you going to be? So she's telling me this story in between bites of her Egg McMuffin, and I realized suddenly, as we were watching cars and she's telling me this story, that I am 6 blocks from my really nice college and 200 cars have driven by, and I've been holding her sign. So as all these cars have come by, probably people I went to school with, maybe some faculty members, I don't know, I'm holding this sign that says, homeless, hungry, will you help? And in that moment, I realized that any car that came by saw no difference between Lydia and me. Because of circumstances outside of my control or anything that I had done, I was in the enviable, lucky position of being in a great college. So as I'm talking to Lydia, she tells me a little bit more about her story. I told her I was a Vanderbilt student. She said, so was I. I got 2 degrees from there, a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. I was totally not expecting that. She was married, she had a good job, she had a child who was 12, but she had gotten really sick. She lost her job, lost her house, her husband walked away, and she and her 12-year-old daughter were living in a car. And she was doing everything she could in every moment to try to keep food in her daughter's stomach and clothes on her back. But she had more education than I did. In that moment, she had 2 degrees, and I had exactly 9 weeks of college under my belt. She was way more employable than I was and experienced than I was, except that she didn't have the resources that she needed. So she asked me again, what are you going to be brave about? What are you going to do with your life? And I couldn't believe I was having this kind of conversation. We finished up. I left the bag of McDonald's with her. I got back in my car and drove away. And I realized that she was right. I have a choice, and you have a choice. With every day and every conversation that you have, you get to decide whether you're going to invest in people, whether you're going to build people up, whether you're going to offer kindness and hope, or you're going to do the opposite. Whether you're going to purposefully choose to hurt people, to make people feel like an outcast. You've got a choice every time, every day. We all do. So she asked me that question. I spent the next 3.5 years looking for her. Every time I drive around, I would think, is she here? Is she there? I never saw her again. But I will never forget the question that she asked me. What are you going to do? What will you be courageous about? So for you all sitting here as blue hens in this beautiful building on an incredible campus, and you realize that out of the world's population, fewer than 1 out of every 100 people gets the opportunity to go to college. And of that number, how many of them get this kind of university? How many of them get the University of Delaware, top-notch school in the country? Very, very few. You are in that tiny, tiny pool of people, which means your responsibility is bigger, your courage has to be greater. So I'm going to ask you to do 3 brave things today. The first one's pretty simple. I want you to learn the name of the person on either side of you, or maybe behind you. It's simple. Go. Okay, thanks. That's great. Thank you. That's good. How many of you, raise your hand if you did not know at least one name of the person sitting on either side of you? Yeah, a lot of people are like, I'm touching knees with this person. I have no idea what your name is. We often go through life extremely physically close to people, and we don't look them in the eye, and we don't learn their name. I fly a lot, and I get on a plane, and I put on my earphones, and I pick up whatever I'm reading, or I act like I'm asleep. I give off every signal of, please don't talk to me. And then I realize I'm squished against this person for 4 hours. I should at least know your name. In a community, in a family, people know each other. Don't be afraid of saying to someone, hey, tell me your name. What building do you live in? No one knows a lot of people. Everyone wants to be known. Sit down in a class. Introduce yourself. Don't hide behind your earphones or your screen. Get to know each other. So that's brave thing number 1. That's pretty simple. Brave thing number 2 is going to take a little more courage. I've got 3 or 4 leaders right here, and they've got microphones. We're going to pose a question to you all as a group. From the stage, the readers asked you, what will you stand for? What will you speak up for? What will you fight against? So today, as you start this college journey, who's got the courage in this room to stand up and tell us one thing that you would fight for, or stand up for, or speak out against? Just stand up or raise your hand, and they will bring you a microphone. Who's got the courage to be first? There it is.
Bullying.
Nice. And tell us your name, too, since we're learning the names.
Rose.
Thank you. Who else? Who's next? Right here, second row.
Anybody that needs help?
Tell us your name, too. Introduce yourself and tell us your...
Eric.
Nice. Anybody that needs help? In the balcony.
Yeah, my name's Barry, and I would stand up for disrespectful to women.
Stand up for disrespect. Can we check that mic up there? I don't know that it's on.
Is it on?
There it is. Right here.
Sorales and discrimination against gay people or anyone in that group.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Who else? Right here in the back. Okay. What will you stand up for?
My name's Joanna, and racism.
Thanks. Over here by the windows.
I'm Jesse, and I'll stand up for that one kid sitting by themselves at the lunch table.
Got somebody in the balcony.
I'm John, and I'll stand up for freedom of religious or anti-religious thought.
Nice, thank you. What will you stand up for?
I'm Genevieve, and I'll stand up to make our campus the safest it can be.
Nice, thank you. From the balcony.
I'm Casey, and I will stand up for that one person that's a little bit different and doesn't always feel comfortable.
Nice, thank you. In the middle, right here. Oh, sorry, I can't see. Okay, whoever's got the microphone.
I'm Marissa, and I'll stand up for anyone with a disability.
Anyone with a disability? Right here.
I'm Peter, and I'll stand up against sexual abuse.
Thank you. In the balcony.
I'm Andrew, and I'll stand up for the Constitution.
Nice. Other side of the balcony.
I'm Alex, and I'll stand up for mental illness and addiction.
Thank you.
I'm Peter, just like that one, and I'm going to stand up for people's choice.
Nice, thank you.
I'm Jenny, and I will stand up against slut shaming.
What will you fight for? What will you stand up for? In the balcony.
I'm Nick, and I'll stand up for my family and friends.
Nice. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? Oh, up there.
Go ahead.
I'm Stefan, and I'll stand up for my neighbor who was told he won't amount to anything because he has Asperger's and others like him.
Nice. Last chance. Going once, going twice. There it is.
My name's Morgan, and I'll stand up against the exploitation of others.
Nice.
My name's Kyle, and I'm standing up currently for you all to do exactly what you want to do, and as long as you're happy, I'm happy.
My name's Kiki, and just like someone said before, I'm going to stand up for love and acceptance of one another.
Did you hear the things that you all said? The brave words that came out of your mouths? The things that you're agreeing to do as you walk around on this campus learning and living together? It's a little easier to do in this room than it's going to be when you leave this building. Because the third courageous thing we're going to ask you to do is to every day decide to be a person of courage. Decide every day to be true to your own values, to who you know you are. To not let someone else's expectations guide you or send you on a path that you know isn't right for you. This is where you're going to start living the rest of your life. In this place with these people, it's where your memories are going to happen. You're going to make incredible friends here, but you're also going to face some very real, very big challenges. They might be challenges to the value system you grew up with. They might be challenges to your self-confidence. It might be challenges to your ability to stand up to something that you know is wrong. But you're going to be challenged. And what we want you to know as you leave this room, if you hear nothing else that we've talked about, it's that although Delaware is a phenomenal campus, and you're going to have incredible experiences here, you're going to have some of the best days of your life, you're also going to have some hard days. And there are going to be moments when you feel like you're not good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, rich enough, whatever enough is, and you're going to feel like you don't belong or don't have what it takes. When you feel that way, because everyone does at some point, everybody gets a little nervous, everybody feels stressed, everybody wonders if they're going to fit in. When you feel that, because everyone will, remember that there is always, always, always help. No matter what problem or challenge or struggle you're dealing with, there is nothing, nothing, nothing that you can't overcome and come out on the other side of. There is always help for you. You're surrounded in this community by faculty, by staff, by upper-class student leaders who want to do nothing more than help you be successful. On the screen behind me is a list of some of the campus resources that deal with some of the topics we've been talking about. Read this list. Know that they're available. Know that if at any point in any struggle that you're having, there are people here to talk to you. Never bear that burden alone. For the next few days, you're going to have a lot of first classes, first syllabus, first experiences on campus, in the residence halls, a lot of first. Doing your laundry the first time, cooking your own meals the first time, changing oil, whatever is first for you, that's going to happen a lot in the next few days. Remember the cool things that happen. They only happen once. But also remember that this is a community that cares about one another. That being a blue hen means something extraordinary. It means that you're surrounded by a group of people that care about your well-being. We want you to be the most successful you that you can be. We want you to find the courage in every situation to stand up for the things that you know shouldn't be happening. We want you to be safe. We want you to be smart. We want you to make good, responsible decisions. We want you to ask for help when you need it. Enjoy the next couple days before classes start. Enjoy your first year. Make it remarkable. This is your family, your community. You are a blue hen. Let's give a round of applause for those of you who spoke and for our great readers. And you all have a great afternoon.